Sometimes you're going to find yourself just coming out of maybe an encounter, and all of a sudden you find yourself enfeebled or drained, or maybe you're even slowed and you don't quite know how to get out of it. You go to your healer and they try to, treat wounds and see if they can assist you. And in that particular moment, when you're basically in exploration mode, there's nothing that they can really do because they aren't really high enough level, or they don't have the right spells prepared, or they don't have an antidote in their bag that they can help you with. Well, there is a skill that you can use called Treat Disease, and it is part of the trained medicine basket that you have for all your medicine type needs. However, it is a downtime activity and a downtime activity only. But we're going to go ahead and see what we can explain about it. So my name is Don. I'm trying to be the Sly Strategist, and let's go ahead and get into it. Unlike some conditions, diseases don't necessarily go away quickly. A lot of times they're going to have a series of stages that they go through that could take days, that could take weeks. There could even be onsets of 10 days before a disease even goes to stage one. However, these particular conditions that you get from a disease are going to hang with you, and the only way to really get rid of them is to make a recovery check when you're allowed to make a recovery check. And your healer or someone with a medicine skill can help you with the action Treat Disease. So let's just go ahead and read through Treat Disease and talk about it a little bit. So Treat Disease is a downtime activity and a downtime activity only. It does have the manipulate trait. Because it's downtime, I don't know how much that actually matters, except for the fact that maybe you can't be tied up when you're trying to do it. Now, the requirements are you're wearing or holding a healer's toolkit. And once again, this is a trained medicine action, so you have to be trained in medicine. So you spend at least 8 hours caring for a diseased creature. Attempt a medicine check against the disease's DC. After you attempt to treat a disease for a creature, you can't try again until after that creature's next save against the disease. So that little last sentence can be a little bit tricky until after that creature's next save against the disease. So let's kind of talk about disease a little bit. I'm not going to go into a full-on explanation of the condition, but let's look at some examples. So without going into specific AP spoilers, I'm going to bring up two that will show you different onsets and different times that you actually can do a saving throw against it. The first one I'm going to talk about is bog rot, and it's a 0-level disease. So this is basically bog foot, or you can call it swamp foot or trench foot if it was reality. What it has in the saving throws, it has a saving throw DC of 13, and it's a fortitude save. Now, its onset is 1 day. Then they would make a saving throw. Then they would go to stage 1, which would be clumsy 1. Another day, they could make another attempt at a saving throw and do a stage 2 clumsy 1 and a negative 5-foot status penalty to speed, and so on to stage 3. And once again, this happens every single day. Now, there is another one that's slightly different, and that would be tetanus. Tetanus is a disease 1, and it is tetanus just like you would see it in reality. It has a saving throw of a DC 14 fortitude. Its onset is 10 days instead of a single day. And if you look at when the saving throws happen, stage 1 clumsy 1, that's at 1 week. Stage 2 clumsy 2 and can't speak, that's a day. Stage 3 is a day, and stage 4 is actual death, which you couldn't necessarily get from bog rot. So as you can see, you don't necessarily make the saving throws immediately after you do the treat disease. You do it with the actual saving throw for the disease, which is going to be stated in its stat block. Now let's talk about some of the success conditions. So on a critical success, you grant the creature a +4 circumstance bonus to its next saving throw against that disease. So if you get a critical, if your medicine is high enough, if you have assurance and you're high enough level, or if you just happen to roll really well, you can get a +4 to help them get out of that disease condition. On a success, you grant the creature a +2 circumstance bonus to its next saving throw against the disease. Critical failure is a -2 circumstance penalty to its next save against the disease. So it is possible for you to actually harm the roll. On a failure, you just don't do anything. Now, diseases in Pathfinder 2nd edition are kind of one of the things that I hate the most simply because they don't just go away. After a minute, they don't just go down in level. They kind of stay with you, and depending on what you catch, you can actually die from it. However, if you have someone in your party who has training in medicine and does the treat disease action on you successfully, they can really help you out in trying to remove the disease. Now, I do hope you like this little quick tip on treat disease. And if you did, feel free to like, subscribe, or hit that notification bell. But whatever you do, I hope you have a great day and happy adventuring. Thanks.